This is a role play to show how the Drug Use Disorder Identification Test, or the DUDIT, can be used to screen for drug use.
Hi Lula, I'm Sasha. I'm one of the volunteer counselors here at the Drop-In Center, and I'm wondering if we could just go through some questions to see what's concerning you.
Okay, no problem, we can go ahead.
Okay, the questions are related to drug use, and it's just about your experience with any sort of drugs and besides alcohol, so we're not going to include alcohol use. So if it's okay with you, we'll just go through the 11 questions. They are it's all related to drug use, and it is confidential, so whatever we discuss here, be as honest as you can. We won't discuss this with family, with friends. It doesn't leave the center.
Okay.
Just to assure you of that. Okay, so the first question, how often do you use drugs other than alcohol? So when I say how often, I mean, is it once a month or less, 2 to 4 times a month, 2 to 3 times a week, or 4 times a week or more often than that?
I would mainly say 2 to 3 times a week.
2 to 3 times a week, okay. Do you use more than one type of drug at the same time, like on the same occasion?
Yes. I use both TIC and DAHA.
Okay.
Yes. So I would say I use like once a month or less often.
So once a month or less you use 2 different types of drugs.
Yes.
Can you perhaps tell me a little bit more about that?
It's mostly TIC that I use like on a regular basis, and then DAHA I use it like on some occasions when I do not have money to buy TIC.
Okay, so you said that was once a month or less, eh?
Yes.
So how many times do you take drugs on a typical day when you do use drugs? So you have mentioned that you use TIC and DAHA, but those days or those times when you're using the TIC, how many times a day do you use?
Oh, I need drugs to do my job, so 3 to 4 times.
Okay.
Yes.
So 3 to 4
basis.
times. Okay. That would get you through the day.
Yes.
Okay. How often are you influenced heavily by drugs? And when I ask how often, I mean, is it less often than once a month? Is it every month? Is it every week? Or is it daily or almost daily?
Every week.
Every week.
It's a weekly job, so every week I need to be intoxicated.
Okay. So every week you are influenced by these drugs in order to help you cope with your job?
Yes.
Okay. Over the past year, have you felt that your longing for drugs was so strong that you could not resist it?
Yes. There are occasions where I tell myself that, okay, I'll just do this without using any drugs, but I just cannot stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that's daily, almost daily, or more like during the week, like a few times a week?
That is
Would you say it's on like a over here it's either less than often, every month, every week, or daily or almost daily?
That's every week.
Every week. Okay, so every week you are using and you are longing for this drug.
Yes.
Okay. Has it happened over the past year that you have not been able to stop taking drugs once you started?
Yes.
Yes. And how often would you say that is?
Less often, or once a month.
Okay, so less often than once a month.
Yes.
You are not able to stop.
Yes.
Once you started. How often over the past year have you taken drugs and then neglected to do something that you should have done? So say for example you're supposed to go to work, or you're supposed to go to your family, but you're unable to do so because of your drug use.
Never.
So you're always able to do what you need to do, even though you're using drugs.
It's hard at times, but I always make sure that I do what I need to do.
Okay, so that's never
Yes.
then. Okay, so how often over the past year have you needed to take a drug in the morning after heavy drug use the day before? So say last night you use so much, and then this morning you need to use more just to get over that that feeling.
The things with drug is that it stays in your system for quite a lengthy period of time. So if I use it during the night, then the next morning I won't need to use it.
Okay. So that would be never?
Yes.
Okay, how often over the past year have you had guilt feelings or bad conscience because of your drug use? So do you have like guilty feelings after you use?
Every week.
Every week, okay. So you're feeling quite guilty when you're using?
Because this is not who I am.
Okay.
But because I need to get the job done, so I need to use this. And then at the end of the day, I have guilty conscience on a weekly basis.
Okay, and you really want to stop, and that's why you're
Yes.
feeling guilty. Okay. Have you or anyone else ever been hurt mentally or physically because of your drug use?
I've been hurt physically.
Have you?
Yes.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Has it happened recently?
No.
No?
Yes, but not in the past year.
Okay, so not in the past year. Has a friend or relative or doctor or nurse been worried about your drug use or said that you should stop using?
You know, when I think about this, it really pains my heart because just recently my mother passed on and she has been begging me to stop using these drugs. So she has been talking to me, but I just cannot see myself going on and doing my job without using drugs.
Okay, so you would say that yes, there has been concern and it has been recently, even the
past
last
year.
year. Okay. Okay, so that's the end of the questions, and I'm wondering if we can maybe just go through the answers and what the score means.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Lula's DUDIT score is 22 according to the scoring pyramid. This means that Lula might possibly have drug-related problems that is risky or harmful, and that might be diagnosed as mild to moderate substance use disorder. She could definitely benefit from brief counseling and continued monitoring.